Then Jean was the one that brought me to my first club experience.
Okay.
When I was underage. Dance in a different aspect. Yeah, and that just kept me going all the
Do
way.
you remember the crew name?
Yes, that street store.
Shout out the That was your first crew.
We didn't know what to wear or what to expect. We
Okay.
wore slippers there.
But
Which club was this?
Liquid Room? Not sure.
I don't know this place.
You
I
don't
don't
know this
know.
macam
I
familiar.
don't
but-
know this
Your
place.
face is showing that.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
When I heard Asopa, I was like, wow, sounds like a food.
One asopo, thank you, tapao. The BPM was very specific, 130.
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
What's BPM?
beats per minute. Wait, again, I may be ignorant.
Go ahead. Is it like Amapiano kind of?
Amapiano much slower. It's about, I think Amapiano is about
Much
90,
slower.
100 BPM.
Oh, okay.
Ama piano is like that slow. If you play apa piano faster.
I thought you never hear. Wow.
I'm trying to
Hey,
processing
thank you
everything.
to make a community for the
Yeah.
Afro dancers here in Singapore and all those who wants to learn. I mean,
Through the years, we've
Yeah.
never seen an Afro scene here in
Same,
Singapore.
same.
Don't call it a comeback. Back. My mama said knock you out.
The All Streets Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the
Old Streets Podcast.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Now,
Yes.
gentlemen and lady, we have a very special guest
Yes,
with
yes.
us today.
Yeah.
It's none other than Chef Hui. Wow, very rhyming. You got here or not the bars?
But-
Don't play. Anyway.
Shui, are you okay? What's going Shui or Hua?
Maybe Hua.
Hua.
Yeah.
Hua.
Yes,
Yes.
Hua would be great.
Yes.
Yes.
So
right.
she's also known as Hua.
How did Hua came about? As in
Yeah.
why? Because Xuan Hui. Hua. How like the
Hua is
What's
a
the
flower,
link, right?
Yeah.
Hua is a
exactly.
flower.
Hua is flower. I know.
Yeah, so it's quite a lame reason.
Okay.
So when I was younger, I really like to just wear like colorful clothes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and sometimes it doesn't even match.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
you just see a lot of colors on my body.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then in Chinese, there's a saying "hua hua lü lü."
Ah.
Yeah, so
flower,
basic.
flower.
Color.
Yeah, just like
Colour.
colorful or
Yeah.
like, you know, so
Ah.
yeah, so basically that's when they start calling me like Xiao Hua.
Small flower.
Yeah, small flower. Yeah. And then actually partly because we used to learn from Taiwan instructors.
Okay.
And Taiwan instructors usually have Xiao something like
Yeah.
Xiao Ming,
Yes.
Yeah,
Xiao
yeah.
Ji.
Ah.
Yeah, that's when we
Oh, I
start
didn't
to
know
call ourselves that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
To have
That
Xiao
Taiwanese
something.
instructors had that.
A lot of dancers from Taiwan also, they have the xiao in front.
Yeah.
I know some of the
Xiao.
locals that I know, so they have that.
I never noticed.
If me is I xiao chabo.
You xiao ting tong.
Also can. And xiao
That would be your name. Okay, so thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. We just want to know more about you. Maybe could you just let us know, like, how did you start off dancing? Yeah.
What is the history of Hua?
Yes. What is Hua's history?
I try to make it short.
Okay,
Yeah, but basically I was a very reserved person. So I started learning like in my own like room. I watched like MV dance and actually it was J-pop. Yeah.
J-pop.
J-pop, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this girl band called Speed, and
Okay.
I really like. I mean, they are like very pretty looking, and the songs were very nice.
Okay.
And I always watch their MV,
Okay.
and even their concert. And I try to like learn some moves.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it was one day when my brother was the one that actually saw an advertisement on TV.
Okay.
And then that's when he said like, oh, you know, because he liked Jolene Tsai.
Oh, Jolene
Ah,
Tsai.
Jolene
Yes,
Tsai,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Jolene Tsai,
Yeah.
yeah. So he said that there's this like Taiwan instructor that is coming to Singapore and is going to teach like dance classes. So he was asking me to join him.
So
Yeah.
which xiao was this coming?
Which, yeah.
Which Xiao?
Actually, his name is called Xue Gao. It means ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Yeah. It's not his real name. It's just like a stage name.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So not a xiao lah.
Yeah, no, not xiao. Yeah.
No, xiao.
Close lah,
okay.
close xue. Something like that.
So do you went?
Yeah.
Do you went for this class eventually?
Yeah, so I actually went, and the funny story is that me and my brother, we didn't know what to wear or what to expect.
Okay.
We wore slippers there.
But this
You
was
know
around
what?
how old were you guys?
I was 14, and then my brother is 4 years older than me, so he was 18.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Wow, you were
So
14
that's
when
when
you
I-
started dancing.
No, I'm still not over. So you went to the dance
In
class in slippers.
How was it?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
reaction
How was
from
it?
Xue Kao?
Wow,
Teacher? Yes.
we were so embarrassed, and then the teacher was like, "Oh, if you wear slippers, I mean in Chinese lah." Then he
Yeah.
said like, "Oh, maybe you can put it aside," because everyone was wearing shoes, and we were the only one that wears slippers. So I was like,
All these dancers.
Oh my god, that must have been so awkward.
Yeah, really.
Okay. But how was that class though?
Yeah.
I mean, since you're first.
Honestly, like I felt my brother was doing really great.
Okay.
Yeah, and he actually continued dancing, but he stopped after that. Yeah, and I was the one that was like struggling, maybe because I was quite shy.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but my brother was like, wow, I was quite surprised by my brother. Like, how come he's like, wow, he got some
You're
grooves and
locking everything down now. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Wow. And then from 14, you went to your first class. And then what made you want to continue on dancing?
I think naturally I already like performing.
Okay.
Just that
Okay.
I am very shy and like I don't know how to go about doing it. But I just like watching people dance and music just get me grooving. And what really kept me going is actually when I met my crew members, my first crew members in the place is called Music Forest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Music
so
Forest.
I've
Okay.
never heard of
I've never
it.
heard of
Yeah.
it also.
Or Ocean Butterfly also. Like it's a music recording company, but they
Okay.
also want to start like a dance.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I met like a few crew members from there, and we kept on dancing, joining recital from the studio.
Okay.
And then we wanted to join competition to just like experience dance in a different aspect. Yeah, and that just kept me going all the
Do you
way.
remember the crew name?
Yes,
That is
the
it.
street store.
Oh, that was your first crew.
Yes, I mean like an
Ah,
official crew.
official crew.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
nice,
before
nice.
that, we actually the teacher Xue Gao Lao Shi,
Yes.
he actually brought us to join like competitions in Singapore. There was like G Lockers, where he was trying to let us have a piece that purely do locking. Because back then, yeah,
Wow.
he actually
Oh, okay.
quite interesting.
Yes, quite
right? Yeah,
interesting.
because I think what was interesting for me also is that he was saying like what he observed about Singapore competition piece is always a medley of songs and
yes.
different
True.
styles.
Standard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in Singapore context, they'll call it Roja.
You're right. You're right.
yeah.
Because Singapore very ambitious. They want to try everything. Everything also they want to do.
Jack of all trades.
Correct.
Wow. Well, so that means, okay, so let me just try to understand. The first kind of genre that you sort of like delved into, it was locking.
Not exactly, but when he wants to kind of like make a change
Yeah.
in the competition scene in that sense,
Yeah.
is he wanted us to do locking. So we did train for a short while,
Okay.
but I wouldn't dare to say like I know locking very well
Yes.
because we didn't really train for a long time.
Understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's just an experiment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Experimenting
in
with
that
the stars. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Interesting
cool. Yeah, very.
Yeah.
But
Rojak,
what you started with, which is or at least what you were diving into at that point of time was locking. But from what you're doing now, it's a world of difference. You want to share with us?
Yeah.
Totally
Wait,
different.
but before that, we need to go through like the middle part, because like in the middle part,
it's a
so
big chunk.
yeah, it's a big chunk, right? Like after that, it was just like hip hop.
Yeah, hip
Hip-hop.
hop, and then I also learned like street jazz.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and
Then suddenly this whole
this whole
the current one.
Yeah.
We will get into it.
We will get into it for sure.
Okay, maybe let's go a bit more on the hip hop side.
Yes.
So what and why and yeah.
I would say that wow, this is hard. I think it's
Take
really,
your time.
because of my crew, right? So there was this one member which is Jin Lam.
Hey, shout out Jin.
Jin Lam, yeah. I think for her, she really inspired me in a way. And back then, actually, I was underage. But she, because I was still very young, right?
Okay.
14. I met her I met her around like 2 years later, 3 years.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
met her from the Forest. What the
Forest,
studio?
Music Forest.
Music
Music
Forest.
Forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, a little more context is that before that, we know her already. She was already dancing and even
Right.
performing with Xue Gao.
Oh, wow. Oh,
She was
she
really
went back that long ago.
Yeah,
This
she-
was before old school.
Before school, way before.
Oh,
she
wow.
even had.
That's what I didn't know.
Yeah, she was with Kate also. Like they dance together and do shows together.
You can push it in. You
Oh,
can
you
just
push
push
it.
it in.
I think it's the cable.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah. So okay,
Yeah.
you're saying that.
So yeah, then cause back then I was like J-pop and then I was very into like Taiwan, like Chinese music lah, basically.
Understand.
Yeah, then it was slowly like Xue Gao introduced us what is hip hop, share with us the history. Then Jean was the one that brought me to my first club experience
okay.
Okay.
when I was underage.
Oh.
Kids, do not try this at home.
Yeah.
Then after that, how was the experience for
It
you?
was very liberating. Because I was like, wow.
You were exposed to everything.
Yeah, I was like very amazed that Singapore have such a space, and then the
Yeah.
music are songs that I never even heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when Jean was kind of like educating me. Like,
Oh my God.
that's how she get her newest music or know about new music. Is to
Ah,
go to
from
the
the
clubs.
clubs.
Yeah, from the club.
Wow,
Because
okay.
back then there's no like YouTube and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
You kind of have to like turn on to radio stations to listen to the latest
Yes.
hits, right?
MTV,
Yeah.
MTV.
Oh, MTV.
Yeah, MTV.
And I think some families did the luxury of having MTV at home.
Yeah.
No cable.
No
That's
cable
true.
TV. Yeah. So it's like sneaking into the clubs was one way to
Yeah.
know what's the latest hit
Yes,
in
yeah.
music.
Up to
yeah.
date to update your,
Yeah.
your
Your
music
library of
archive.
music.
Yeah.
Serious.
Wow.
Those were the days. Okay. Wow. So that's how you started.
But okay,
out.
sorry,
Wow.
quick question. Which club was this?
Liquid Room? Not sure.
I don't know this place.
You
I
don't
don't
know this place?
know.
Macam
I
familiar.
don't
but-
know this
Your
place.
face is showing that.
No, I don't know. You don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Wow. Okay. Oh,
Liquid
Liquid
Room,
Room, yeah.
wow.
Oh my god, that is so bloody long ago, man.
How you know it's long ago? You thought you don't know.
I don't know. I just read in the news.
Oh, but roughly, where is it? Where is this liquid room?
Never mind. Can we move on anyway? Yeah. So okay. So that was your involvement in hip hop and learning hip hop genres. So what came after hip hop?
After hip hop, I would say it's just more choreography. Yeah, like just really trying to understand like quality of movement, more technical training.
Right.
Yeah, and I would say like street jazz also.
Yes.
Because when I was being hired in old school, that's when I met Freddie Kosman.
Yeah.
Freddie.
That
Shout out.
man is
Shout out, Freddie.
crazy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
really talented.
Ah.
Yeah.
okay.
And that's how I sort of like, I would say I consistently go for his classes.
Okay.
And also like back then I was still very young, so I'm like, I don't really know how to move in a feminine way.
Yes.
Yeah. So I try and I was like, wow, what is this street jazz,
Yes.
like this performing thing and the
Correct.
lines and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I would put quite a bit of time there also.
Right.
Wow.
So and
journey.
and so we like we said, we started with locking somewhere around
Somewhere
there,
around there
at
lah,
least.
the hip hop.
And then hip hop and then
street
street jazz. And then after that, what happened?
So after that, okay, even in the street jazz journey, actually I was also like trying to pick up contemporary.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
went for Ryan Tan's class as well.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and during that phase, because I meet other dancers, and I found out about this choreographer called Dana Fogler.
Okay.
She's actually Beyonce's choreographer.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know she have a lot of dancers in her company. It's like guys that are really good, but not really technically trained in ballet.
Okay.
So I actually went to LA
Okay.
to take a 3 months program.
Wow.
Yeah. So from there, where it started is actually I met this African friend in
Yeah.
the program, and then she shared with me a lot about her culture, but not exactly dance, just
Yep.
like culture. And then on the same year, that's when Tony Za, who someone,
Za,
Tony Za, yeah, like I am always like very inspired by the way he moves.
Yes.
So basically 6.5 dance company like hired him to come and work with us and put up a show for the
Okay.
Big Groove. So
Right.
that's
Oh
actually
my god, the big groove.
TVG, yeah.
So
TVG,
long.
oh my
What
God,
happened to Big
haven't heard of
Groove?
TVG for the
Yeah.
longest time.
I missed it,
Yeah.
TVG. Yeah. So that was actually the first time I got in touch with this dance genre called Afro, African dance. Yeah. And then I learned that, okay, it's actually an umbrella term for so many styles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's
how
an
it came
umbrella
about.
term. It's not the main term that you call the dance itself.
Yeah.
Ah, is it? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
this. Wow.
Like I said, I think maybe last time, if you were to do these African movements, right, African dance movements, a lot of people would classify it a bit more towards the
Reggae. They will call it like reggae.
Like reggae.
Yeah.
There's that flow and hit,
Yes.
flow and hit kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now
but okay, wait. I got to pull you back just a little bit. LA.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why this LA like, wow.
This caught me off guard.
Yes.
Like, okay, tell me what. Okay, so what was the experience like? What, you went
3
there
months.
to 3 months to study how to dance.
Yeah.
What was it like for you over there, and what did you learn?
Did you go
actually?
there on your own or you were sent by the studio?
I go there on my own, but I actually applied for a grant from NAC to support me to go because it's
wow.
actually like a mentorship program. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So what do you learn
Yeah.
there? Share with us.
Who do you learn from also? Yeah.
I mean, the program, the mentor itself is Dana Fogler.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, what I really like, because before that, I went US 2 times, and then it was just like taking open classes, you know, keep going one after the other. I felt a bit like, okay, is that what I want to do? So, over there, what I really learned is like, how does the industry there work?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
comparing to Singapore, you know, what I can learn out of it and what will be beneficial to bring back to Singapore.
Yeah.
Right,
For sure.
Yeah.
for
Yes.
sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think I also learned a lot from how she's a mentor because I didn't realize that there's a big difference between teacher and mentor. Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about it. Like I
Yeah.
think maybe our audiences might
They
not
wanna know,
not
yeah.
know the difference. So maybe could you just share with us, you know, like the difference
Besides the
between
spelling lah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think teacher is like anyone who teach a skill. It doesn't have to be dance, you know, like passing on the skill.
Correct.
But a mentor is like you really have that next layer of guiding the person and even getting to know the person. Yeah, than just like teaching the skill itself. Those
Yes.
there's a lot more connection and
Exactly.
openness
I
from both
see.
parties.
yeah.
That's a very good explanation, yeah, actually.
Exactly
So
that.
anytime you need to meet Beyonce, you call her. She will call her mentor. Her mentor will call Beyonce lah. Hey, tomorrow bring Beyonce here. I cook asam pedas.
Wah, can or not? Wah, can okay. Wah, can okay.
Oh, it's amazing to I mean, let's be very factual, right? Who doesn't love Beyonce, right? And then
Yes.
now you are learning from somebody that is her choreographer, and this said person is mentoring you. I feel like I'm
Wow.
close. Like Beyonce is just next door to me.
The feeling,
Let's
the
just waiting
feeling.
outside.
Like,
ready.
hey, finish ready or not? Faster lah. Like that.
Let's hang out after this, ready. Get
Right.
Yeah.
Stop it. Okay, sorry. I got
He's
carried
living
away.
it.
He's like big fan.
I'm a
I mean,
huge
all of
fan.
us are, but
I'm a
yes,
huge
fan.
You know, fun fact, when Beyonce was in Singapore, she was performing for the F1.
Yes.
She was walking behind the Fitness First at what's that place, Marina Square. Guess who was teaching the palm class?
Ooh.
Is it you? Wow.
Yeah, and you know what was the song I was playing? Crazy
Crazy
Love.
love.
Yes. Wow.
So yeah, but obviously you cannot access that woman. She's blocked by so many people.
Exactly. But
Like
you
her-
can breathe the same air can already.
Yeah.
Be in the same presence. Oh yes.
Although there's that glass panel, that small slip, I
feel
can
it.
smell Beyonce.
Yes. Like
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, going back to our guest, Hua. Wow. Okay. So going back to your journny of, you know, from where you started to where you are at now, doing Afro musics and all of that, Afro beats, right? Which if you had to choose one,
Yes.
and you
Oh, God.
you cannot change
Oh,
this
God.
Yes.
for the rest of your life,
Yes.
which would you?
Yeah.
You mean Afro style?
Yeah, as
As
in,
in, like,
in
all
all
the
the
ones that
different
you've done.
genres
All
that you've
the
done.
hip
That you've done lah,
Street
you've
jazz,
done, yeah.
Street jazz,
contem.
keep that, yeah.
I will choose Afro dance.
Is there a reason why?
I think more than just the movement and the music, I
Yeah.
think I really have a heart for the culture, like the people that are living there. Yeah, and the connection. Because I think what I felt like with hip hop, you know, because it's technically the first dance that I start off with.
Yes.
I think it's the music and where it was from, what is it for. I felt like I can't really connect or resonate.
Okay.
But with the African side and also their culture, I do find some similarity with Asian culture as well.
Oh, really?
okay.
I understand
Okay.
you traveled,
Could you-
right? To like Ghana and all that.
Wow.
Right?
How long were you in Ghana actually?
1.5 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What are some of
Yeah.
the similarities?
Yeah.
Oh, this is very
Yeah.
interesting. I've
That's
never
why-
been
that's
there.
why-
Also,
Yeah.
I don't think any of us have. Would
Correct.
you mind sharing like?
So when I see them, right, the way they dance is so like free. Yeah, but when it comes to family tradition, it's very much like
Very Asian,
Yeah,
ah.
it's like very strict, and the parents will really give them like guide them in a. So let's say if you do something wrong, right? Last time my parents will just take our cane and
Yeah, confirm kena wet one
yeah.
lah.
So it's the same for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's exactly the
tough
same.
love also lah. over
Tough
there.
love, yeah.
wow.
And then even with like because one of my teacher came here to stay much longer, then he was the one that say like, wow, I realized that what I thought of Asian, now the new gen is different lah. But he say like usually it's not very publicly affectionate, means like you
Yes.
cannot really show.
Correct.
And that's the same for them too. Yeah, that is actually, and guys, you know, like you cannot openly talk about feelings so much on that. Yeah, it's really more tough love, and so I was like, wow,
Almost
interesting.
similar, yeah.
Very,
amazing.
very similar, nah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually very family oriented. Because Western countries are more like at a certain age you have to
You leave,
move
Bye-bye.
leave the nest.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leave the nest.
So for them it's very different, which is same as us lah in that sense.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, huh? Should move to Ghana, huh? I think you moved to Ghana, culture shock.
I'm
I think you
messaging
were-
the Ghana Prime
Yeah,
Minister.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Never, got contact.
Go
Later you,
contact.
Later I message.
tomorrow itself you go.
No, but you think about it, if that's the case, right? That means going there, no culture shock lah. Basically, it's the same, almost alike.
In a way,
You know,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, so easy to adapt lah. You know.
But they are so much louder lah.
Legit.
That's like way louder.
Let me tell you first, in Malay, right? In Malay,
Malay.
people, we have different
Level.
level also. We have the loud ones. I'm not gonna say which
Imagine.
dialect of Malay also got loud one. So
That's
same, I
nice.
say same already.
nice.
Okay, let's go back to dance, guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Performance.
We are back to
Okay.
performance.
So, you okay? You can just drink, no
okay.
problem.
yeah, just read
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
Don't worry. babe.
Thanks for the permission.
There was no permission needed, sis.
No need.
Yes,
Permission
drink.
granted.
Yeah. I just want to go a bit into the Afro music dance that you're doing, right? You're saying that in itself is an umbrella term. In it itself, what would you mind sharing with us more about it,
Yeah.
like the different styles and all of that things?
So even in Ghana, West Africa, there's quite a number of styles. So they have their traditional dance styles,
Okay.
which is already like a lot of different styles. And then the one that I'm learning is called Azonto.
Azonto.
Yeah, and I just when I went there, then I learned about there's this another style is called Asopo.
Azonto, Asopo. It
Asopo.
sounds like a name like that.
Like a food.
And
right, yeah,
food,
food.
yeah.
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 When I heard Asopo, I was like, wow, sounds like a food.
Auntie, one asopo, thank you, tapao. Vibe kan?
I so put upsize.
You upsize the Asopo become Azonto.
Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Azonto, Asopo.
Asopo,
Yes.
yeah. And then
Is there, sorry, I have to, I don't mean to cut you. Is there a clear difference from Azonto and Asopo?
I would say I'm still learning.
Okay.
From your understanding lah. From your
It's
understanding.
I feel there are a lot. I see a lot more similarities.
Okay.
Yeah, than differences. Yeah, and then when my teacher explained to me, then I start to see a bit of like differences.
Okay.
Yeah, but Asopo basically, even when I learn it from them, they
Yeah.
just teach like the foundation. It's pretty much like, for example, locking. There's
Yeah.
that few techniques. Yeah, so it's very much on freestyle. Once you understand this technique in practice, you like just explore yourself. But Azonto, there's a lot of like moves. So many vocabs in that sense.
Oh, okay.
And new moves being created because it's not not saying not a freestyle thing, but yeah, basically there are still new moves being created.
So based on the feel itself, new moves will start be coming out. Oh wow!
Yeah.
No,
That's Azonto.
I have to go deeper into this. Musically, right? I don't know. Sorry, I'm not being ignorant or arrogant by any means. To me, when I hear an African beat, it's pretty similar. Would there be difference in the music for Azonto and Asopo?
Yes, in terms of tempo. So Asopo actually, so one clear difference is that the moment you hear the music, the tempo of it is about 130 BPM.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Azonto is much slower. Yeah, and it can be fast too. When you do Azonto, you can do to a faster BPM.
Okay.
But the moves itself will be quite different. Because Asopo is like a lot of fast footwork and
I
crazy.
see, that's the difference. So tempo is the difference.
Tempo is one clear difference. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm learning a lot of
Yeah.
things, man.
I didn't know about this.
Oh, wow, even the BPM was very specific, 130.
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
What's BPM?
beats per minute. You think what?
Sometimes I gotta check on my sis
Double
here.
check, double check.
We
Later
gotta
double
check. I scared later you say blood pressure monster.
Actually, blood pressure monitor.
You see.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that is so fascinating. So, I just want to know, like what started this whole like fascination with Afro? Like, what was that moment where you were like, yes, I need
This
to
is
deep
what I
dive.
want to try. I want to do.
Yes. Yeah. When was
Because
that moment?
when we knew you back then, you were always a hip
Hip-hop,
hop,
yes.
hip hop. Then suddenly you
Street jazz, yeah.
evolved to this Afro thing. Suddenly, like you were so into it.
Yes.
Like what clicked?
Yes.
I think because I'm always like very open to learn different styles, and as a person, I always like to be diverse, like very
Okay.
open. And I always believe as a dancer too, you need to be an all rounder.
Yes.
Versatile, versatile.
Yeah.
That is yes, everything. Correct.
And I feel that is something that is lost after a while.
Yep.
Yeah. So when, like I said, the Dana Fogler program,
yes.
when I met my friend,
Yeah.
that's when I think it already sowed a seed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
To like the curiosity of like how Africans culture are really like, and then I think I also hit a down moment
I
during
see.
COVID. Like how else? Because I like to train. I like to really just move and train. But I felt like I no longer have that kind of drive. Yeah, I start to question about my purpose of like, okay, what else can I bring to the table? And also, doing something that I really like rather than competing or trying to keep up with the industry in Singapore.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then that's when I met Tony Zara. But then COVID hit. Then I felt like, okay, the next chance that I get to go overseas, I must go and like delve into Afro more. That was a decision made lah, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Not many people will have that kind of
Yeah,
like,
that kind of drive as well.
that kind of drive. Like for you to like travel out also just to learn more about the culture. I think that's something as a dancer you'll be like, wow, that's a lot of passion for it.
But again, this is just my opinion. This to call yourself a dancer, I always feel that you must know multiple genres of dance.
At least understand it. lah.
Understand.
You
Maybe
don't,
okay.
you don't have to do the style, but you understand the style.
Yeah. And that allows you to then explore creatively.
Yeah.
Because it'd be very interesting. You imagine an Asopo style and then you mix it with suddenly crump.
You know what?
Oh, what is it?
Come
What is
on,
it? You
come
know
on.
what already?
So even the instructor that we brought in this year, right? So he does crumb as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they have this term called Afro buck.
Oh, wow.
Buck.
Yeah, because buck is in a
Buck
Yeah,
is like
crumb.
crump.
yeah,
crumb
crumb
term,
term.
yeah.
So even when I was there filming his class in Singapore, I got to learn like, okay, what is Afro buck about? And it was so interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
You can
Visionary lah, babe, actually.
Wow.
Crazy
Afro
lah.
buck. Wow, interesting.
Yonsei, call me. I'll do it up for you, darling.
What's it though?
No, but
Wow, so Afro buck.
yeah, it's,
Oh,
you see,
that's
it's interesting because there is I always feel that art consistently evolves, right? Even in movement, art, dance itself, it consistently evolve. Because like for me personally, there was a period of time when I was exploring tarian and hip hop.
Oh, yes.
Right,
What's
there was
Talian?
Tarian.
Malay
Malay
dance.
dance.
Malay
Oh,
dance.
it's
Malay
called
dance,
Tarian.
right?
Yeah,
Tarian.
yeah, okay.
Tarian actually means dance.
Dance.
Oh.
Yeah, but of course in Tarian there's multiple genres of it lah.
Yes.
You know, there's
Tarian Melayu.
there's so many lah, Zapin lah,
Zapin,
Boging
yes.
and all that,
The
right?
different styles, yeah.
So we were exploring how to, at that point of time, how to put Zapin in hip hop.
Alright.
So it was very
Tapi
interesting
semua ada
mix.
yang gini-gini.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Correct.
correct.
The movement like that.
And then now hearing, you know, Azonto, Asapo, and then going into like
Afrobar.
like, wow, cool man.
Wow. I mean, dance is
very
like
cool.
that. lah.
Very interesting.
If you could come up with a
A
style
style.
of
Yes.
dance, fusioning maybe two or three
Yes.
genres, right? What would that mix be like for you? Like,
Like
what would you
what do you
choose?
think will match?
Yeah, what would you
Wow,
choose?
match, ah.
Mm.
Actually, I kind of appreciate from afar Chinese martial arts.
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
Chinese dance, like
Yeah.
on
Okay.
their feminine side, yeah. So I think it will be quite interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
To
Martial
infuse
arts.
that with
With African dance in general. That will be quite like wow, how would
Right.
I go about?
yeah,
I'm
you know,
trying to visualize
trying
it
to
in my head.
visualize it.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. If you can visualize it, it's boring. This is how I feel about
Yeah.
it. It should go to a place where you cannot
cannot.
see what how is it going to be like
Yeah.
until you just put it in the on the foot. You know, like as in you put in the work to see how it evolves. Like,
Yes.
girl,
Wow.
you get what I mean? You get what I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Quite
Very
cool
true.
though.
Yeah.
My God. Okay.
Okay, now
Interesting.
what are your future ideas of Afro dance itself? Like, how are you gonna bring it into Singapore? Share it more with people and stuff like that.
Wow. Because I am trying to step out, meaning like I hope to maybe live in Africa.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe not forever, but like at least a year. But at
Okay.
the same time, I think I really have a heart for our scene as well. Because I can see there are people that really wants to learn and grow, but step out, especially going to Africa is quite
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, in a way. Actually, air ticket is expensive, but
Okay.
living there is not that bad.
Right.
It's quite okay.
Food.
It's very cheap. It's like in Malaysia. Yeah, same as Malaysia.
We're not hitting our Malaysia
Oh,
friends.
sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
It's just
Don't-
an example.
It's
Example.
an
I love you.
An
If
example.
can, every day I
Thanks.
want to go Malaysia to eat.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's how much I love you.
and Malaysian food is your arteries all gone. Anyway, okay, so no.
Yes,
Okay, so life there in terms of cost of living is cheaper.
It's
that's
much
it.
cheaper. Yeah.
Right, but safety is it a safe? Would you say
South Africa, I would say not exactly.
that? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but West Africa is great.
right.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not being ignorant. I'm
No,
asking
I
as
just I'm
somebody.
very curious. That's a good question.
We
Because
don't
in my
know.
head, I was like, "Wow, you want to move to Africa, and then you have safety how?" Because like we are so used to like Singapore safety.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, like
correct,
then,
correct.
yeah, oh, okay, West Africa.
Okay, I'm not trying to put this in a negative light, right? But
Yes.
every time when somebody says Africa to me, I only think of
Lion.
yeah, then like the giraffes,
Yeah.
you know, that
Wildlife,
kind of thing.
right?
Wildlife,
Yeah, wildlife,
Yeah, so
safari, all that
when
stuff, yeah.
I mean, that's why when Hua is saying like, you know, oh, there is this and that, I'm like,
I mean, it's how we were nurtured when young.
bro,
Yeah.
at the back of my head, I'm thinking you are dancing behind got lion parading,
Got hyena.
you know, got hyena waiting
Hyena
for
behind.
you. Like, yeah.
What show?
Show for the animal kingdom. Yes. Wow, it's really very interesting. Wow, I cannot. Okay. So what if you okay? So you're saying that you wanted to stay there for a year. And
And so I'm also trying to build up this crew that I am leading.
Okay.
And
Okay.
hopefully, like a few of them, maybe they can take the lead while I'm away.
Ah,
Right.
and this
it's
crew
also,
is
Zafroba.
Zafroba. Shout out
Yeah.
to Zafroba.
Yeah.
Nice.
And also Afro Singapura Zaini, who's also doing
Ah,
Afro. Yeah,
Wolfgang.
and Wolfgang
okay.
side.
Nice.
Yeah, so I
Nice,
think it would
nice.
be cool to have. Yeah.
So there's 2 Afro crews now in Singapore.
Actually, Wolfgang they started way earlier than us.
Ah,
Yeah. Then we only
okay.
started last year Zafroba, but Afro Singapura is also last year. Then we started. Yeah,
So it's
because
quite new lah, quite fresh still.
yeah,
1
Afro
year.
Singapura is more like a Afro community where we want to build up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's an Afro scene already. Wow, nice.
How did it come about? If you don't mind
Yeah.
sharing, how did this Afro Singapura come about?
Actually, 2 years ago, I think,
Yeah.
that's when Zaini and I started teaching our courses, Afro
Yes.
courses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I also start to like envision, like what could be nice and help us to grow is to have camp in Singapore, bringing
Right.
teachers down so
Right.
that
Oh.
people who can't travel they
They got
Teachers, yeah, not mentor, right?
yeah teachers
Teachers.
teachers
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
nice
Yeah.
one.
You know the difference. already.
I learn a lot from
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Hua.
yeah.
Yeah, okay,
You
okay.
listen and learn. Good.
Yeah, and then we wrote in a grant and it got approved. That's a
Oh,
sign
that's
for me to
nice.
know like okay, it's about
It's
time.
about time. Yeah, wow, nice.
Wow.
I'm trying still
Eh,
processing
thank you,
everything.
Tau, to make a community for the
Yeah.
Afro dancers here in Singapore and all those who wants to learn. I mean,
Through the years, we've
Yeah.
never seen an Afro scene here
Same,
in Singapore.
same.
Having them bring it here
same,
is wow.
same. Wow, and that must
Very
have.
nice, very
wow,
nice.
That's a decision that would definitely help grow the Afro scene in Singapore. Definitely. I mean, I'm seeing a lot more. Of course, because like I'm chronically online, so like
Chronically
Chronically
okay.
online, like-
yes. So it's like my FYP every time I scroll, it's a lot like the dance hall in Singapore, like all those like events and all that. I'm like, wow, this community is growing like very quickly and like it's getting a lot of traction, which like I really appreciate to see like the scene in Singapore growing like in
Yeah.
many ways. Of course, like you still have your everlasting like hip hop scene and all that, but to have all these other genres,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Being a
for
very small
contributing to
country
the
and having
community.
all these different genres and having a new genre coming in. Wow.
Yes.
Adding on to everything. Wow. Amazing.
Exactly, mad love.
Yeah.
Beautiful Rojak
Yeah.
coming together.
Beautiful Rojak.
We're
True,
like-
true.
Wow. So, wait. Again, I may be ignorant.
Go ahead.
Is there a Afro battle in Singapore?
No.
Don't have, right?
It's more for a performing kind of thing, right? Afro.
Yeah. Even I am actually trying to. My aim for myself this year is I want to join an Afro battle
Right.
overseas.
How would an Afro battle work?
Yeah, that's right.
How?
Yeah. Have you?
They wear the straw skirt and then they
Is it Azonto, Azombo battle and everything?
Actually, even what I heard from my teachers that they hope there's more Azonto music played in battles.
Oh.
That is the fast one, right? The
Um,
fast tempo.
Asopo is the fastest.
Asopo,
Ah.
fast. Azonto.
But
okay.
Asopo, actually, they also dance to like Afro house and those kind of genre.
Is it like Amapiano kind of?
Amapiano much slower. It's about, I think Amapiano is about
Much
90,
slower.
100 BPM.
Oh, okay.
Ama piano is like that slow. If you play apa piano faster.
Betul. You never hear
You
before.
continue.
Apa cakap?
Ama piano, apa piano.
I thought you were serious.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah, that's because that was what I realized that there's no Afro battles in Singapore. Yeah, so that means you would you are intending to battle.
Overseas. Yeah. But I would hope to have, but because our community is still very young.
Understand. Yeah.
So
Hello
eventually-
NAC.
Afro battle.
Afro battles.
Give grant.
Yeah. Don't need a lot lah. Enough to cover everybody. Yeah.
Wow, but then again, I wouldn't know how an Afro battle
Yeah,
works.
I won't know.
That's what I like. You see, if you tell me, oh, there is this battle going to go on, right? I don't want to be able to know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I
surprise.
want that element of surprise. Oh my god, yes, that feeling.
I get it.
Yeah,
are you
it's
with me on
true.
that? Are you with me on
Yeah,
that,
it's
right?
true.
Because if I can imagine what it's going to happen, then I don't feel the need to go and watch that. Because I kind of, okay, I may be pleased.
Expected lah. You know what to expect.
Yeah, I
already.
may be
Yeah,
pleased
yeah.
with what I see, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, true.
You get what I mean, right?
Understand.
Are you with me on that?
I'm with you all the way, babe.
Yourself?
Of course.
Okay, as
Gila lah.
Judge Dan,
Okay.
Judge Dan,
Check.
would you?
Ah, what?
Would you agree with me? Like, if you're going to watch a battle,
Yeah, of
you
course,
want
of
that
course.
battle to be something like,
Mm.
wow.
Of
And
course,
you cannot
even if I
imagine.
were to judge, like, I expect something different.
Mm.
Of course, everyone will expect something different because through the years you've seen so many things.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen so many. They do this, blah 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 blah. Then you see something new is what gives the excitement.
Yeah,
The
right.
fire comes back. Yeah.
Right.
I have a hot seat question for you. So let's say if you're judged, right?
Wait, let me adjust myself first. Okay, shoot.
Yeah, so let's say if you're judged, right, and you were saying you like to just see something different. So between two dancer, one technically musicality is like perfect, the other one very creative. Technique not as good as the other. Which one what will be your thought process of?
This is a good question.
Wow.
You all know as good as me. Go back.
Wait, I want to pause first. Okay, for me personally, if that's the case, right, like if I get two top dancers, technical wise very strong, creativity wise very strong, right, it will all depend on the music. I will see how they play, because I always, like I've said before in a episode, I always look on feel. Feel of the music, because every genre that plays, right, doesn't mean you have the same feel for every song.
Correct.
Like for example, me being a popper, if there's a slow song, I gotta play with the feel of the music. I can't just go aggressive. Like for yourself, if you do hip hop, if I play a very slow lyrical music, you won't go bounce all that stuff, right? So the feeling counts. No matter how technical you can get, but if you don't have the feel to the music, right? No point. Then you're not dancing. You're just doing something that you know what to do, which is technicalities. You want to be creative to the music, it's fine, but the feel needs to be in. So I will always look on their feel. If it's the two top dancers, very good dancers.
Let's revert this.
Revert it.
Yes.
Uno reverse back to you.
Ask you.
What about yourself?
Similar question,
Yes.
same exact question.
Yes.
What would your criteria be in that sense?
I think same thing, like feel and creativity. Yeah, because I do know of dancers usually will have a certain set, which is
Yes.
nothing wrong, but how you execute to different music do
Yes.
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the
That
music
matters,
will
yes,
always
correct.
play a part. The genre
Yeah.
of the song, you have to play with that music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Fee?
Me? I just choose who's the one that handsome maybe.
Wow, love it.
Correct lah, right?
Nice.
Actually, this one.
nice.
True
nice.
honesty.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like you handsome, okay lah, you win lah.
Of course, gila tak Win.
Then after that, call me. Okay, guys, that was a whole chunk of talking with Hua, right?
Yes.
We're gonna take a short break and we'll be back on part 2. All right.
Yes.
Don't forget to like,
With
subscribe,
Hua.
share the Old Streets SG,
Yes.
and we'll be back in part 2 with Hua.
Wow.
See you guys. Don't
See
go
ya.
anywhere. Peace.
Come back.